Hey guys, Yuliya here. So the area that I wanted to show you today is this cherry tree garden. And the reason why I wanted to show you this, because this garden is mostly shade to part shade. And I think if you have a lot of shade in your garden, a lot of times like we struggle finding plants that will look pretty and bright. And a lot of times we end up with pretty boring shade gardens. But I think the plant selection that I have here is very interesting and kind of brighter than your usual selection. So maybe you'll get inspired to get some of these plants here to brighten up your shady areas. All right, so I will start with my beautiful planters here, and I hope you guys not getting sick of me showing them in almost every video. But I think this color combination and plant combination is just stunning. This combination has no flowers, well, except maybe for the Coleus ones that a lot of people choose to remove, but I love mine. They play off the Persian Shield purple here. So the Coleus is a Coleus. This plant is called Persian Shield, and I just love this purple. I don't know if it's luminescent or incandescent or something color. It just shines. Then there's a Swedish ivy, both big leaf and the smaller leafed one. Sweet potato vine that I use both as a trailing down and trailing up vine. And a lot of times people don't trail the sweet potato vines up, but it actually works. They will climb up easily. Now these beautiful elephant ears, this one is called Heart of the Jungle. I got a little scorched there, but beautiful purplish leaves. And these unusual ones are called coffee cups, and they are shaped like cups, collect water here and then spill it out as they get heavy. Just love this plant combination here. And then right over here, this is the area that I work on a lot, because this is right next to our kitchen door, and this is the first thing that we see when we get home. So I refurbished this, I think it was 3 weeks ago. Everything is doing amazing. The elephant ears, and so you could see how the middle of this elephant ears almost shines. Look how pretty that is. And of course the sparkly breathless Euphorbia. And I used a lot of Hakenochloa in this area because it is one of the most amazing shade grasses. It's drought tolerant, it's shade tolerant. It is very slow to start, it is very slow growing, but mine grows really fast for some reason. I think because I have really good soil here. So it spreads quite fast. And this is Aureola, I think. I'm not sure. Sometimes I get plants that don't have labels on them, so I will double check. And then I just wanted to show you the curve in this grass path. So you see this beautiful gentle curve. That grass right there, we always have problems with that grass because of this tree, which is probably dying. We're trying to figure out what's going on with this tree. But this is flanked by different Hakenochloa grasses, and I interplanted Hakenochloas with Hostas, and I think this is either Patriot or Liberty. I'm not sure, but you see the contrast between the finer leaves of Hakenochloa and bolder leaves of the Hostas. The Hostas, by the way, look amazing for the end of the summer. Usually they're all chewed up and dry, but these look just so pretty. Also check out this China Girl holly. All these berries are about to turn bright red. Birds love them. I collect branches from the shrub for Christmas and make a lot of Christmas ornaments and like decorative things with that. And then there is more Hakenochloa on this side. And I just wanted to show you this beautiful fern here. This is called sensitive fern. This is a native fern, and I just love the look of it. And the reason it's called sensitive is because it dies at first frost. So I already started cutting my peonies down because they had the worst case of mildew this year. I don't know what happened. I kept spraying them, but still really bad. As we move along this path, you can see I planted a lot of Iresine, and all of this Iresine is from cuttings that I started from one plant. And oh boy, I just adore this plant. It has these beautiful pink stems and gorgeous exotic looking leaves, grows really well in the shade. The one thing that you have to water it regularly, otherwise it will droop. There is Hosta over here, and then Solomon seal, which makes an excellent shade tolerant and drought tolerant plant. Now this little patch here is Liriope, and I planted this one a long time ago. I think it was like 7 years ago, and I am thinking about pulling this out. I know Liriope has its place in the garden, but this one just, it's too aggressive for the spot. It is competing with my beautiful Hellebores that I have everywhere here, and just grows too much, too aggressive. So I will pull it out and plant something different in this spot. Let me show you quickly this other side here. I have more hostas here, more Hellebores right here in the spring. This is so pretty. And for all of you who've been following my channel, I don't know if you remember this little mini Asian inspired garden that I made. Gosh, I don't even remember. I think it was February. And look at that. I brought it outside, and so what happened is that we had a really bad storm. So this entire thing was overturned on the ground. Like the rocks, the plants, everything, the fountain. It was a disaster. And I kind of had to put it together, and it's doing so well. I just love the sound of the water feature. It's so pretty. And the Fukian tea is doing really well. You can see the bonsai shape of it. I will post the link to this video down in the description, because it was just a really fun project to make. There's a little like calcium deposits on the pot that I have to clean out, but I just love this little spot here. Oh, and also for those of you who watched my rhododendron pruning video, you see it already set the buds. So sometimes when you prune your rhododendron really late, it won't set the buds, but if you prune it right after it blooms, you will have blooms the following year. So what else I have here? And again, like, I'm sorry about this grass here. It's been a struggle. There is more Iresine, and what a plant. Just look at these beautiful pink stems. And sometimes the leaves are half pink, which is really cool. I have some more of the big leaf hostas here and some rhododendrons. And also, let me talk about this woodland aster here. This is Aster divaricata, and I think it's called Eurybia divaricata, which, you know, they always change asters' names because they do DNAs, and now they reclassify them. But I love this little plant. It is amazing pollinator for late in the season when a lot of flowers are done blooming, and it is adorable. Look how cute this is. It has the most delicate flowers. So the one thing about this plant, do not plant it unless you are ready to deal with its seedlings. It seeds freely, like there are seedlings over there. And I welcome them because I want more of this plant, but it tends to be on the aggressive cedar side. So make sure that you're ready for this relationship because it can become overwhelming. So more Iresine here. And this grass I bought, gosh, I think this was 10 years ago. This might be Cosmopolitan Miscanthus, I am not sure, but absolutely beautiful. So this is where our kind of sunny spot started. So I planted out in the sun, but now it is in the shade because this tree grew a lot. So I'm actually going to have to move it because when you put Miscanthus in the shade, it starts to flop a lot. So as you can see, I had to stake it a little bit. I mean, it's looking great from this angle here. I mean, look how pretty that is. But it is definitely struggling. It needs a little bit more sun. So I think I'm going to stop here as for the shade plants because that's Miscanthus Morning Light. It's already moving into the sunny plant category. But I also have a couple of azaleas here for next year. Oh, and look how well my elephant ears are doing. Aren't they so beautiful? So let me show you this beautiful area from this other angle. Trying to block the little dead patch of dirt. So this Hibiscus syriacus here, I did not plant. That was a seedling from that Hibiscus syriacus. And as you can see, they are different colors, they're different shapes. Hibiscus syriacus hybridize. And when I saw flowers on this one, I didn't have the heart to cut it down. I cut down a lot of seedlings of the hibiscus, Rose of Sharon, because it tends to be very invasive. But this one I just left. I mean, it is pretty. It is really pretty. But I battle with seedlings of Rose of Sharon all the time, and am looking for the non-invasive type. But you can see from this angle too, just the beautiful curve right here. All right, so these pots are filled with caladiums, and I started these from corms early in the spring. Now this is John Peed, this is White Queen, and this is White Christmas. Just absolutely gorgeous shade tropical plants. And I planted a little bit more of the Euphorbia here. So these are in pots because there is a holly tree right next to me, and if I were to plant these right in the ground, there would be a lot of root competition. If you have a tree that is has like a shallow root system, you can plant your plants in pots. This way, you know, there's not as much competition. And just look how gorgeous these leaves are, just beautiful. And also I have this fern right here. This is called Autumn Brilliance, and their new fronds start out this rusty, beautiful color. This is an amazing fern if you're into ferns, because not everybody is. This is a great fern for like tough locations. If it's a lot of root competition, dry, shady locations, this is a fern for you. So this is the last of my little shady areas. I hope you guys got some ideas. Alright guys, so I hope you got some ideas for your shade gardens, and as you can see from my selection, I chose a lot of plants that have bright foliage, like the yellow on the Hakenochloa and the yellow stripes on Iresine, and a lot of variegation, and hostas with a lot of variegation in the middle or in the outer edges of the leaves, or caladiums that are white or brighter colors. So if you go with the more brighter selection for your shade areas, they will seem a lot brighter. So avoid things like dark leafed eucharis or other dark-leaved plants. They are gorgeous, there's no doubt about it, but they will shine more in more of the part shade areas and a little bit more sunnier areas, or together with brighter leaved plants. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions or comments, post in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.